Hello everyone, welcome to the Scumdog's Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and in today's Cryptid Corner mini-episode, I have more Chicago Mothman stories to read to you today, folks. Both accounts come from Illinois, and both are startlingly bizarre. Let's get into the first account. Winged humanoid with glowing red eyes terrifies group of teens in Little Village, Chicago. Let's get into this account now and hear exactly what was witnessed and how the teens were affected by it. Late on a winter night in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood, a group of teens gathered in a familiar hangout spot and was confronted by something they insist was not human. What unfolded across a moonlit parking lot left the witnesses shaken and convinced they had narrowly avoided a direct threat. On Sunday night, February 5th, 2023, at approximately 11 o'clock p.m., 5 friends were together in the alley behind a local Pandadera near the parking lot where they regularly skateboarded and socialized. The location behind La Baguette Bakery had long been considered a safe and familiar space within their neighborhood. While talking and skating, one of the group noticed a large dark figure standing on the roof of the flea market across the parking lot. The structure, known locally as the Discount Mall, sat roughly 150 to 200 feet away. The witnesses described the figure as humanoid, at least 7 feet tall, with massive wings, wider than a car. Its eyes glowed an intense red compared by one witness to the brightness of automobile taillights. Despite the distance, they could clearly hear the creature making chirping or clicking noises as it stood motionless, watching them. An overwhelming sense of danger came over the group. One friend instinctively wanted to run, but the others stopped him, fearing sudden movement might provoke the entity or cause it to follow them home. During the encounter, one of the witnesses silently prayed to La Virgin de Guadalupe, asking for protection. After roughly a minute, the winged figure launched straight upward into the air. As it flew, it passed over the witnesses while maintaining direct visual attention on them. Eventually, it moved away from the area, heading toward the nearby archway before disappearing from view. When the group discussed the incident the following day, fear and confusion remained high. One witness speculated that the entity may have been sent intentionally, citing a recent breakup involving one friend and an ex-girlfriend known to practice brujeria. Whether symbolic or literal, the belief reflected the deep emotional impact the experience had on all involved. It is surprising, folks, that these teenagers hadn't heard about Mothman before, especially the sightings taking place in Chicago. But then again, I'm not surprised. They might have heard something like this, folks, and they probably thought they'd see some moth or insect-like creature rather than this, winged, humanoid-looking being. Then again, in most older accounts of Mothman, folks, they mentioned that he really doesn't have a head, but these sort of lights that are basically mounted either in the chest or in the shoulders, as I've said before, folks. So maybe they expected that rather than this humanoid-looking entity that really doesn't sound too much like the classic depictions and descriptions of Mothman. At least in some of the classic accounts, sometimes the entity is described as a big bird. So I'm not surprised. Either way, truly a very bizarre encounter that these teenagers had with the Mothman, or this winged flying cryptid, folks. But then again, people have also said that they've been seeing something else in Chicago as well, folks, like giant bats and giant owls. So another account of people not being able to identify this enemy is not surprising. So let's move on to the next article, folks. Winged humanoid collides over Evanston, Illinois. Witnesses link sightings to earlier paranormal encounters and hear about another, Mothman entity that's been seen flying over, this particular state once more, folks. Let's continue. In August 2023, a suburban Chicago woman witnessed a large winged humanoid silently gliding over Evanston, Illinois. What makes this report significant is not just the sighting itself, but the witness's belief that it may connect to earlier unexplained encounters dating back nearly a decade. The pattern raises unsettling questions. Are these events isolated or part of a longer personal timeline of anomalous activity? The witness first experienced unexplained activity in November 2014 when she was 17 years old and living with her family in Morgantown, West Virginia around 9 o'clock p.m. While laying in bed watching television, her attention was suddenly drawn to the floor near her desk. She'd observed a narrow beam of solid white light moving rapidly in small irregular circular motions on the floor. The beam was thin, no more than an inch wide, bright but strangely contained, with a faint bluish hue outlining its edges. The room itself did not illuminate, and the light appeared sharply defined rather than diffused. The witness watched the phenomenon for approximately 30 seconds before feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. Panicked, she fled the room and went downstairs. Looking outside, she saw no aircraft or unusual objects in the sky, only distant commercial planes. She did not tell her family what she had seen, unsure whether they would believe her. Later inspection on the floor revealed no marks or evidence that the beam had ever been there. 2 days later, another disturbing event occurred, this time with her younger brother present. A pitch-black, two-dimensional humanoid figure passed across a window and adjacent wall inside the house. Roughly 12 feet away, the figure had no discernible facial features, no hair, and no visible clothing. It appeared as a solid silhouette with a round head and a human-like torso. The manifestation lasted approximately 10 seconds before fading away. Both witnesses were certain it was not a reflection and that it originated within the home. The witnesses noted that she had seen a similar figure once before, reinforcing her belief that this was a recurring phenomena. Nearly 9 years later, on August 15th, 2023, the witness experienced another encounter while at the public storage facility located at 2050 Green Bay Road in Evanston, Illinois. She observed a dark humanoid figure flying in the early evening sky at approximately 7:15 p.m. The being had large bat-like wings and appeared to be gliding slowly westbound at an estimated altitude of 150 to 200 feet. As she reached for her phone to record the sighting, the entity suddenly accelerated and rapidly disappeared from view. Her husband and daughter were present at the location, though they did not observe the figure themselves. 5 days later, on August 20th, 2023, the witness and her husband observed a large, bright, cylindrical object streak across the sky above their property. At approximately 9:40 p.m., the object was moving too fast to photograph and was visible only briefly. After searching online for answers, the witness discovered reports of winged humanoid sightings in the Chicago area. She had been unaware of these cases prior to her own experience and expressed concern that the Evanston sighting might be connected to the anomalous events she experienced years earlier in West Virginia. She remains apprehensive about the implications of these encounters. And what could they actually be, folks? Now, it's been said that this article and story basically indicates a presence that has basically been in this woman's life and that has increased in, power and volume as the years went by, folks, resulting in her seeing Mothman and even basically a UFO as well. Could it be that this UFO was controlled by said flying entities? Perhaps. It's been speculated that basically Mothman is some sort of interdimensional or extraterrestrial entity, so it's not surprising. But how does it relate to the first article with these boys seeing a similar entity in this area? Chicago as well, folks. Why are they there? And is something going on in this state, and in particular around Chicago and the O'Hare International Airport? As I've said before, folks, a lot of times, so maybe I should bring it up one more time, that Mothman is said to be a harbinger of doom, or could he be a harbinger of change here, folks? Perhaps this being is, harbinging maybe the UFO disclosure that we're all after. Perhaps Mothman is allowing itself to be seen because maybe this is a prelude for these entities to come out into the open. And maybe not just Mothman, but other alien entities like the, Greys as well, perhaps. It's an idea there, folks. And I basically took the notion that Mothman is a harbinger of doom and basically used it as a harbinger of maybe of something better coming, folks. Because it's been years with what's been going on with Mothman in Chicago, folks, and still no one has any real idea of what the real truth is. So, be it what it may, folks, wherever this entity is and whatever or why people are witnessing it in this area, along with other anomalous phenomena like these giant owls and bats, who might be the same entities, but maybe somehow camouflaging themselves in a very unique way. We don't know. Either way, it's truly out there, but we're at the end. So please go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Read comics, they're bad for you. You can use the YouTube link down below in the descriptions of the chat to go subscribe me. Hit that like button for me. Make sure you're still subscribed. Leave some comments down below. Hit that bell for notifications. Make sure at the part of the bell they'll give you all future notifications, and please share this video out. I'm Chris Williams from the Scumdogs Kennel. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be back again tomorrow with another great video, so be sure to come back again then. Till next time, folks, I'll see you all again soon.